fast. I pushed 50 opponents off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the silver light shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Race scratch, Mokanari stands, harmony flows to the best of lands. In the neon glow, there is best, the culture rich where resistance in the morn of grace. We'll dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and soaring heights, find the magic in the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. Well, give me a second here. I hate being stuffed up nose. But it's a great way to get rid of the snot and stuff, so, you know, it's easy to do, to work around, I guess. Anyway. Alright, so, well, we've got a lot of good news and some bad news and stuff, and I'm gonna get into it, when we get into this, on it. Now, I want to come into first things first, in no way, in the last episode, I actually did a thing where I did a video on showing you how to get custom radio stations in for it, and one of my favorite radio stations I love listening to, no way am I sponsored by them, is the Trans Radio UK. Now, because I can't listen to it because of a certain reason, we always come in here, and I always like listening to it. We have a lot of variety when it comes to a lot of it is new retro wave, guys, and some of the other content that I also like using is I use Panda Beats. No way am I sponsored by any of them. There's one thing I would do, and if it was me, I want to work on is a version of this. Official version where it's an official MMO style where you can okay, so we are in over here, freight market over here in the ODS. Now this one right here, olive oil, going over to Estonia. And we've got the exhaust systems as well. But we also got some external contracts That gives us the best miles. I always like to look at where we can get the best vans. Going up there. They're going back up into Sweden. That's going in down to Denmark. Frankfurt, Amsterdam. I like to look at what we've got available to us. Anything within above that 30 right now is good. That Amsterdam one going to the Netherlands. How far? It's 7 hours for that, right? But that one's got 6 hours. That one's 6 hours long. And if that one's 6 hours long, is that one better? Better than that one? Of course. This is a 7.5 hours long. Let's go look at the freight market real quick for our we got a service boat going up through Denmark up there. Yeah. Paladesk goes up there. Yeah, so far the World of Trucks is giving the external contracts are giving me more bang for my buck, and that's giving me that goes back over up to Sweden. That gives me a 6-hour drive for 25, and this one here is 7 hours and only gives me, and that goes back into the Netherlands, which I don't mind, but this is gonna give me more bang for my buck, and we're going back into Sweden. So we're gonna take this trip going over there. Now we've got a couple of some things that I'm getting myself ready here to get my stuff, because I also got to remember that that I gotta have the TikTok up as well. Remember, guys, I do primarily focus on TikTok mainly as my primary. The red play button, the green tea app as my secondary, and the red play button as my tertiary process. So, as you're kind of getting over here to load our trailer, we're gonna start off with some. What would you guys like to hear? I'm pretty sure you guys like to hear some of the bad news. The bad news, guys. The United States is at war. For what it's worth, it may not be an official thing, but we have this thing where within the United States we are facing the people over in Yemen. We are at war, even though it's not official. We are. Somebody who said that, oh, we are a process of it. We got a president that just renamed another part of the sea, over there. We've got problems, galore going on. With it. Not only did we get the Gulf of Mexico changed to Gulf of America, which is dumb. One of my favorite brands. I'm glad that they literally have not released it out yet, but it is called the Gulf of Mexico. I know I'm waiting for this car to go by. Waiting for this semi. Where they pretty much basically they said we're not gonna support the Gulf of America. They're basically putting their foot down and saying we're gonna support the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm glad that they're doing that, and I'm glad that they're supporting it. I like it because you know, and I'm not gonna name the brand name specifically. Actually, you know what? I'm going to, because it makes it a lot easier for everybody to go and support the brand. I buy from this brand. I don't care if they're anti LGBTQ, whatever. But I buy from a brand called Bobby Jack. Most of you probably, it's one of the other places. I'm glad that YRU, another brand that I support, that I think that I buy from, because they support the LGBTQ community more than Adidas or more than any other brand out there. And there's a reason. I spend my time. They have a my favorite brand, YRU, has a pair of shoes that are right up my alley. They're pretty much like a Converse pair of shoes, but they're like the extra high. And I always like wearing weird and wacky shoes. I never wear anything. I don't like wearing like traditional shoes that everybody goes out there and love that. And remember, I do have where I always do post at the end of the videos or the live streams, however you guys like to put it. At the end of it, I always put the brand. I always put a video linking to it at the end for when I'm watching on the red play button. And you guys can get access to all of that there through the link up through that link tree up there too. And I only put that there because that gives you access to everywhere I post, everywhere that I do. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, when my favorite brand has a pair that they follow, you know, they do Pride every year, and they're still going. Now they do have the Pride stuff going out every year, but they do it. They have a lot of releases to do every year, and so they can't like, and these shoes are usually there for a while. They're not like, they still sell them even after the fact. They just release them. They even released them prior to June. So they just release them whenever they feel like it. And YRU, when they just released, like what I said, when they released these, they had a Pride shoe. They have a trans shoe now, a transgender shoe, and I like that. And I love the fact that they're a company that if I hadn't have spent my $50, I would have. If I hadn't put my $50 towards Steam, I would have bought those shoes for it. and I will say, like, I am like this one person that thanks Nicholas J91 for joining the live. I am one of those people that goes out and supports the community in any way. I listen to radio stations when I play Euro Truck now, on my second stream, that are dedicated to Pride, that are dedicated to the LGBTQ community. You know, I love that fact. I love the fact of the matter is that when I need to put in my own music in here, my own AI music in here as well, because to be honest, I love the fact that when I play video games and I play games that are decent, I want to always have the ability, like these guys, they, like, if you go to the Steam Workshop, they have a thing for Pride. They literally are allowing for people to have, they don't create the Pride stuff, but they did in 2023, they did. They're not an American-based company. Their SCS is a Czech Republic business, and I love the fact of the matter that I support, like, companies that continue to support the LGBTQ community above and beyond. You know, Microsoft, like, yeah, I'll play Microsoft stuff because they're still willing to support it, even though they don't. They said they're still gonna stick to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And thanks, user, for joining the live. And as long as they're willing to continue to do that, I'm gonna continue to support those companies that still support that diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, yeah, I don't like predatory things, so I won't be buying a lot of stuff from Microsoft. But when a game like Age of Empires, yes, they're having these DLC stuff, but that's fine. You know, they had Age of Empires back in the day when Age of Kings, they had an expansion called Age of Empires the Conqueror, Age of Empires 2 Conqueror's Edition, the Conqueror's expansion. And that's Age of Empires 2 is the best Age of Empires game in the series. I tried Age of Empires 3, I'm sorry, but not the best Age of Empires. Age of Empires 1, it's way better than 3. Haven't played 4 and all these other, haven't played Age of Mythology, but like I say, thanks Carlos for joining. It's like all of these companies that don't. It's like, okay, glad I don't shop at Target anymore. I never shop at Target. I won't, because you know when companies that don't. Thanks Arch Chilton for joining the live. I don't, like, I'd rather shop at, wait. I'm gonna do so that just basically, you pay the toll. Okay, so I don't have to. Okay, so I don't have. So if I find an opening, I'm not gonna sit and wait anymore. But you know, when I find things like that, and I find things that these companies don't. No, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna stop buying stuff. Food-wise, is the only the only part of my own personal life that I can't. I'm not going to stop on that dime because food's an important necessity that is needed. If a company does not support us, I'm gonna have to deal with it. But when I do find a company that does, and they are doing fantastic, then that's fine. It's, you know, I can't do it. You can't boycott everything, and I'm not trying to say, don't boycott everything that you see. Don't boycott things that are a necessity, that are, you know, find the necessity where give it where it hurts if you can. If you can support small business, go for it. Spend your hard-earned money. It's like my shoes. It's like I have pretty much, I bought Nike once in a while. I bought Adidas because I like their superstars. Thanks local. But I actually now just buy Why Are You and Doll's Kill are the two places that, and I might even buy Doll's Kill anymore. I have to find some better alternative, a trans-owned business. You guys know of any that are transgender owned? That would be a fantastic to buy from. I'm not gonna, like, that's where I want to spend my hard-earned money on. I don't want to spend my hard-earned cash on clothing places where they don't quite support the community. You know, thanks to Teresa Barnes for joining. You know, I'm kind of this person that spends my time trying to, you know, not all my clothes are going to be directly away from that. Because, you know, I have a family that quite doesn't want to boycott things because they just don't. It's why, if it was me on my own, I would probably find a way to do it. I would find a way to do it. I'll tell you, my favorite ice cream brand, it's expensive. I didn't realize that they're expensive for the price, but now, if I come to find out that Panda Beach isn't supporting the community, then I am pretty much going to, distance myself from that as well. Because, like I said, thanks George Prince Gerald for joining the live. Trust me, I don't like to boycott because, you know, like, I don't boycott video games as much. But I might start doing that even. You know, I don't. Income 662 for driver Jack R. Okay, so we're still not up to snuff on paying off our loan, to be honest. And once we do, I'm gonna start shifting my hold on, you guys might not, thanks Tima Phillips for joining live. I'm gonna turn that down, because it's, like, getting a little bit too loud. You know, so I don't do that, but, some other tidbit of bad news, and it's bad news because I don't like having to talk about the bad news. The bad news is that, the thing is you look at Donald Trump and you say, is he like a good president? Is he a good person? No. He's not. Okay, so we paid a loan investment. Let me go to services, bank. Okay, so it's 71,420 on that. So we will be able to pay it off. Yeah, we might be paying a little bit more than I wanted to. Thanks Jesse Pinkerton Jr. for joining the live. Thank you. So there's a lot of things that I do take into consideration. Thanks Mel for joining the live. Thank you for joining the TikTok live. But one of the things that I always like to do, and when I say that I like things and I do things, I don't do things, I was kind of this person that didn't quite pay attention to politics, didn't quite pay attention to things when I first started on my transition. I will tell you, I still don't. I still don't like having to pay attention to the politics, having to pay attention to make sure that my life is okay, and I shouldn't have to be doing that. I shouldn't have to be focused on that, and it's one of those things where when you look at the recent order with the military, the Supreme Court basically sided with Donald Trump on this issue. Issuing a 6-3 decision. It's basically the conservative versus the Democrats. It's basically the Republican, the conservatives, and the leftists. And it's like, those aren't leftist values. To me, a leftist, those aren't even, they don't even, like, like, I was reading a thing, I was doing a little survey, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna finish this survey, because all this survey was right-leaning points in all of it, and it's like I'm not gonna give you my thing, and it's like, these people don't seem to quite understand. Thanks Joe Hodges for joining the live, TikTok live. Thank you. It's one of those things where the things that I spend a lot of my time doing is I make sure that, with this I should say, with this military ban, it's just ridiculous because not only did we see somebody lose their life over this, it's over this because people shouldn't have to be losing their life over things. People shouldn't have to be losing life over these simple things of daily life, you know. Thanks, Richard, for joining the live. Thank you, King Def, for joining, and thanks 83867YT for joining the live. Thank you guys. But it's like nobody should have to be losing their life because of people like Donald Trump just trying to take people's lives away. The Republicans trying to take people's lives away. It's happening in America. It's happening in every state except Vermont, and it's just a reality that some of these things aren't going to pass, but it doesn't mean that they're going to try. And when they try to pass things, and they try to hurt people's lives, are they really helping people? No, they're more likely hurting people. You know, they're hurting women because they want more transparency. It's like, well, what about the marriage certificate? What about these things that they need to require for the SAVE Act? A lot of these women don't have their marriage certificate license to be able to have this ability to vote. You know, I will be able to have the ability to vote, but women out there that have been married or had their name changes, you know, if they had their, it's ridiculous to see the scope of things like that. And it's like, thanks Mash O'Bane for joining the live. If I'm saying that, yeah, if I'm saying that right. Whoa, what's going on here? What? That's like, what? Okay, we had some weird and wacky AI going on here. I feel like I could upgrade the AI in this game, to be honest. Thanks Nano965 for joining. Sorry. Yeah, thanks No96 for joining. If I can't, I have to be more literal. On a lot of this stuff. A lot of people, like, the news that, you know, we you know, it's like we thought we would have you know, I thought when I heard what Donald Trump was doing. It's like, I didn't vote for him, of course. But if he ever did come in office, was he going to do the things that he said he was going to do? No, he didn't. He's not. The war with Ukraine isn't done with. He said he would have it done in 24 hours. Not happening. Economy. Thought he would keep the economy. Thought he would make economy great. Didn't let then that didn't happen. Look at what's going on with look at what's going on in the look what's going on in this. It's like Adidas are raising their prices. Companies are raising prices because they have to do it. It's like if a shoe brand has to increase their prices, a shoe brand that's there, and it's like I go and look at YRU, and YRU has more expensive pairs of shoes, and yet they're willing to offer 55% off on their sale prices, offer 50% off on their new prices, and they're cheaper than what Adidas is. And it's like, if they're able to offer cheaper shoes, why? Thanks Jose Marcos Rodriguez for joining the live. Why spend thousands of dollars on a pair of shoes than spend $110 on a pair of shoes when I can get it for 50% off on almost all the time? It's no brainer. It's like, for a platform pair of shoes for $110 worth on a pair of Adidas Superstars, for maybe $10, $20 more, and I can get platforms. Is it worth it when that brand is like, okay? It's like you have to spend. Look at the price of what you're paying. Where are you getting your shoes from? What are they doing? What are your clothing brands? It's like all of these things. It's bad news for people in just everywhere in the United States. It's like, if companies have to start raising their prices, is it worth it? Is it worth it what Trump's doing? When even gaming companies having to raise their price because of it. Thanks Tim for joining the live. It's no brainer on a lot of these things. Oh, I hate having to blow my nose. Thanks Flores for joining the live. Thank you. It's like, you look at things throughout the lens of what goes on in life. You can't like expect everything to be fantastic. It's not. But when an economy, Biden, is a better president than Trump, but he is not better than Obama. I will admit, he's like somebody that pretty much could have saved this country and could have kept it. Could have basically said, no, you get this done. We get this done now. He could have easily said, no, all of these things should not be delayed for all of these things with Donald Trump, and he could have done things. He did it at the end where he said, "Nope, we're just gonna do things." When the president basically said, when the Supreme Court said that you're gonna have immunity, Biden could have done things that would have basically prevented Donald Trump from getting into office, but he didn't. And it's understandable. He did everything by the book. He played by the rules. He did what was right. Obama played by the rules. Obama did the right thing. When you play by the rules, you pay attention, you follow the law, you're doing fantastic. You're doing better than most people. If you aren't following the law, what are you doing? It's one of those things that I always like to say. I always like to follow the law of the land. And if the law of the land basically says to follow the Constitution, I follow the dang Constitution. You know? Thanks, Yusuf, for joining the live. What happens if I go that way? That was there. Yeah, it's gonna tell me that in that trip time. It's not gonna tell me the trip time now. Yeah, we'd have to go back that way if we... Yeah, it's pretty much telling me that way, and it's like, I'm not doing that. Why? What? It's gonna take us 3 hours and 28 minutes to get there. Thanks Mike D78 for joining the live. But in other good piece of news, United States, Boise, Idaho, and Salt Lake City, Utah, are not capitulating to these flag laws. Really? So it's like they're doing some fantastic work with the flag laws. They're basically now starting to make city flags. Like they get around these laws by making city flags. And if they're gonna say that cities can't have a flag, then because they don't want pride flags flying, it's like okay, then I will go in and I will litigate this. and I will fight it tooth and nail, because I will stand by and fight it tooth and nail. If the state of Minnesota decided to make the flag of Minnesota, they follow the state star, and then they basically just follow like that, and then they put the pride there, and they call it Minnesota. Would I be upset with it? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be upset with the flag change, because, like I said, I am not going to be upset when a state decides to capitulate and continue to use pride flags. When states and cities and things use those, I'm happy with it. Thanks, Jess C, for joining the live. Thank you. This is why I sorry, I got a little slightly. Thanks, Colin Terrells, for joining the live. Thank you. Thank you for joining the TikTok live. And I will say this, guys. Like, I absolutely stand with the pride flag. Doesn't matter if it's the progressive flag. Doesn't matter if it's the rainbow flag. Doesn't matter if it's the intersex flag, to whatever flag is out there. As long as the flag is the trans flag. I will tell you the two flags I do stand with the most. And you guys can see one of them always in my room. It's the trans flag, and the other one is the original six-flagged rainbow flag that I have sitting up above my bed. And it's like, those are the two flags that I stand by, and I will stand by and support more than I will stand by and support the United States flag right now. If anybody wants to fight me on this, they can say bye. Not gonna deal with it. I am not gonna I'm not gonna like capitulate and stop supporting the flags. Like, do I support? I don't support. Like, I tell you, do I support the Canadian flag? At the moment, yeah. But if it for the same reason, that the flag from Canada and the LGBTQ are being capitulated up there, then why? Then I wouldn't support it. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. Okay. We will see. Actually, it's one trip time is an hour. an hour and 17 minutes. Alright, we'll see. I thank JPRD for joining the live, TikTok live. Thank you. You know, I like that, you know, that these states are doing it, and these cities are basically going to continue to support the LGBTQ community in these states, even though you know, these cities are willing to protect them. I'm seeing the No Hate campaign come out and actually support finding places to where cities are absolutely becoming sanctuary cities for these LGBTQ community. Do I think we should be going to these cities? I would prefer that you go to the states than go to a city designated. Now if these cities are being designated in these states, go for it. You know? Oh no! No! Oh no! How did I make this mistake? But thanks J Crisp Basketball for joining the live. Okay. Yep. But I will say, it's like I love the fact of the matter is that when music really makes me happy when I hear music like Tootsie Spell, like Foreign Airports, a great Yeah, I'm getting there. I would have made it if I hadn't gone that way. We only are doing one, we're not gonna like... Alright, well guess what we're gonna be doing here. Let's go to the bank. Bye. No longer do we have to rely on that anymore. And I don't think we will need to. So I really do appreciate this game, and I really like it for what it is. You know, adding some mods in here. You know, thanks Poconos for joining the live. Thank you. But I will tell you, like, one of the things that I do like spending a lot of my time doing they should really do realistic police pullovers. Oh, I think they could update some of the things in here. You know, they could, you know, they might have to slightly increase the minimum requirements to being the minimum being what's the recommended to upgrade a few things. But I think that it would be fantastic if they... Thanks, Wills. Thanks, William Ash Bog for joining the live. Thank you. Yep, I did it again. I flippin' did it again. Yeah, no. I don't care. I'm gonna take that damage like a boss. I don't think it's realistic. Too super realistic though. But whatever. But you know, it's sorry guys, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm a little bit tired though. I'm not like super tired though. I am just gonna say the music sometimes will put me to sleep. That's why I like having podcasts or something on. But it's they're just gonna let me go. And I'm speeding like a mother trucker. I haven't got caught yet. Speeding. But we probably should slow down just because. Whew. I don't get why it's 50 down, but then it's like 80 uphill. But it's okay. Thanks Quills Magnolius for joining the live. For joining the live stream. Thank you for joining TikTok live. And it's good to see that there are places standing up to it. I'm glad that my home city, that they're not gonna capitulate. I was already in the intersection when that happened, so we're good. Cargo got damaged by 1 freaking %, so we're gonna get docked on this. Well, they're gonna let me go, so. That's just gonna give us a little bit of extra XP since we did fail the getting here. Good work. Because we are gonna lose 75 XP though, so and we get 1,000 off, but we do get 24 on our total. So let's go. Let's go down over there. Nice. It's nice, at least we're gonna see if we can get any upgrades to this. Truck configurator, because what I can do is go over here to our engine. And we can upgrade our engine. Yeah, that'll upgrade our engine. Okay, and then we look at our services. Service recommendation. Let's go to truck configurator. Because we can change some stuff around. So we have to pay that much to refund it, so that's not gonna do us. Let's clear the order on that entirely. Yeah. Alright, and that's gonna repair that. The service recommendation. Now our cabin confirm. I'm just going. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. Do confirm that. Now we are gonna be under the water for a second. We're gonna go to bank. We are gonna confirm that. Okay, so we're gonna check. We always check the freight market first. Thanks to October for joining the live. That is gonna give us over to France through this oil filters, which, to be honest, the external contract. That's in Stockholm. No, we need upscale. That's going us to France. I'm just seeing. I'm not going back to Odessa. I'm not going all the way back there. I want to try a different. Let's go to Temperi. Okay, so Asphalt Miller is going there. That's going to Russia. Ugh. That goes to Helsinki. Well, we just upgraded our thing. I think we'll be able to manage this one. But that one also gives me more as well. As well. We got this freight market one. Where does this freight market one go? That's actually, we'll set that as our GPS location. And I know which one we're taking too, by the way. We're gonna have to deal with 2 trailers now. This is our first time actually doing 2 trailers. Oh! Oh! No! Oh no 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 no! Oh no! I am driving. I can't believe I was driving on the wrong side of the road. Well, I don't think they would complain, you know, if I had to, you know, bring my truck out from the thing. But we'll see. Oh. Okay. I did not pay attention. Hey, at least I paid somewhat attention. I got the red light offense, I stopped. I don't quite pay attention because I'm thinking like, oh, I can go, and I don't, and then I was like, oh no, I didn't get to go. Like, okay. That's where I get a lot, is the red light offenses. We'll figure this out. I'm not like. Okay, so it's only 78, but we are still gonna manage to. Manage to. I'm gonna try to get off, guys. Here shortly. But. Yeah, you could tell I had a horrible time trying to do this. I don't like driving two-sized trailers, but I wanted to see how well I could try to do it. Of course, because it gave me the most money, and we need the money right now. I need to pay off my loans. need to upgrade my other people's vehicles after this one. Because they need to start being able to bring in further loads and heavier loads, for it. Okay, we're gonna do a thing real quick. Let me go to services. Truck manager, sorry. Upgrade you. Okay. Total confirmed, to pay is that. I'll confirm your order, buddy. You're gonna get an improvement. William J does not. Trailers. I have 2 trailers, so that gives us a little bit more opportunity. No. I'm the only one. Oh yeah, he's the only one that Jack R was the only one that got his vehicle updated to the 480 horsepower. Because I knew I needed to upgrade him for it. So he's gonna get better. He's gonna get faster for it. I'm the only one that's at 520 horsepower for it. We're at 7 there. If I were to upgrade you, we can also confirm not enough money. So nothing to change with that one. Cancel the new modifications. Okay. I'm gonna go to trailer manager. Both of those have the exact same thing. Can I configure you? I know you're on a job. we're gonna change you up. We're gonna change everybody's up. I'm gonna start not utilizing the most expensive thing, so we're just gonna swap it. We'll use these two. We'll have two different truck manager, Alright, there we go. They're all gonna be that way. So we have two different trailers. Different trailer setups and stuff. Okay. Because I'm gonna try to use cheaper paint jobs as much as I can. We're gonna switch everybody over to the same trailer company. Nice. So it's now going to give everybody that upgrade to the 450 on the engines. When we have enough money again, I will upgrade the other two. Upgrade the other ones to 500. Start upgrading them to higher rated engine horsepower, and I will upgrade it as well. Upgrade them all to 500 horsepower. Give them 50 more horsepower. I'm 520. I'm gonna stay 520 because I'm the one that travels a lot more. They always have to head back to Berlin. But my fleet's always gonna be 500 horsepower. I will start shifting around and changing my roof and start basically shifting our vehicle to become a better to the Scania R's. Because I'd like to go to the Scania R's instead of the Scania S. For it. But I wanted to let me really, let me go to navigation, to services, to used trucks, Scania. Yeah, I'd like to go to the Scania R if we can. Maybe have the Scania S's. Have the Scania S's be in Berlin. And then have a new business. Use the Scania R's in one place. Sorry about that. Here, guys, thank you for being here and enjoying this content, which was previously live streamed over on Trovo through horizontal view. But you guys can also check out the vertical content over on TikTok. Unfortunately, I cannot say YouTube or Trovo over there, so you are seeing this end screen now, which you guys can go check out these videos as well for more content here on YouTube. And you guys can also hit that subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell notification with the all as like I always say in my end of my streams. But you guys can also go down the comments and chit chat down below as well. And we will see you guys later. Bye.